Welcome to part 2 of our color along. How are you doing today? Well, I am awesome. Excuse me. I've been working, well, I haven't been really working, but I did two little things while I was away from you guys. I did the person on the sled with the Faber Castell pencils, and I did the deer with the Prismacolor watercolor pencils, and the rest of the tree right there. But guys, I am really enjoying using these watercolor pencils. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. So let's just jump right on into it. So guys, I've been working with these work wonderfully when you wet the page and then use the pencil over them. They just do an amazing job. So let's see. What should I try first? Well, let's just go back to using these Faber Castell ones, because I told you guys last time that I didn't quite like them, but I'm giving them another go, and this second go is wonderful, okay? They are performing very nicely, okay? So I think I will zoom you guys in so you can see a little bit better what we're working with. Okay, there we go. So I think what we'll do is we'll finish the rest of the people. We'll work on that today. And we're gonna tweak those trees a little bit later. We'll do the finishing touches later. We'll just use this first layer as kind of like a wash, but we'll do the other things a little bit later. So I think she needs to have on, we're gonna try, let's get the orange and yellow pencils out. So we'll start out, I think she'll have an all orange hat. No, she'll have a yellow hat. Yellow and what? Let's make a few highlights with the ochre. So the yellow that I used was the Faber Castell cadmium yellow in the watercolor, Albion Albert Dieu. And now I'm using the burnt ochre to give a few shadows. And back to the cadmium yellow. And just do the whole hat. I want to leave a little white right here. Uh-oh, I didn't clean my white off. Let me get my scratch paper. Well, oh well, whatever. All right, let's just see her hat and see what her hat does when we activate it. Kind of made that brown burnt ochre just disappear, didn't it? Oh well, that's good enough. Maybe I need to put a little burnt ochre back in there. Now when you put these pencils on wet, Like when you put the pencil to wet paper, oh my goodness, it gives you like crazy color. Like crazy, super intense color. Okay, so now her shirt looks like she has on a, what do you call it, vest. So her vest will be orange. And we're going to do a semi heavy hand, medium pressure to just outline the vest. And then we'll do a light hand in the middle and leave a little white right there. As a matter of fact, let me put the white pencil there so we can encourage that white to stay there and don't move, because we want to highlight right there. So let me get my water on my right side so I can stop hitting the camera. Okay, let's activate this orange. And let's be careful not to get too much of that intense color. See, now I need to clean off my brush because I have too much water right there. So I want to keep that orange. Now, I think that's going to be her scarf. Using the cadmium yellow, and that orange, I'm sorry, was dark cadmium orange. Now I use the cadmium yellow. Now I'm back to the burnt ochre, so I can do the shadow. That's her scarf. I think I want that ring on the bottom right here to be red. Just a solid red. And her shirt right here is going to be red. So let's just do a medium pressure and outline it all the way around to right there. Now let's do a lighter pressure with this, what color is this? Deep scarlet red. I have to get used to telling you guys the colors. Now let's go back to the deep cadmium orange and go over that red. Now let's put that white right there. Now let's activate. First, let's activate this scarf right here since this is the lightest color. Now I'm going to activate this red. Oh, I'm getting it everywhere. Getting it in places it doesn't supposed to be. We'll fix it. There we go, we fixed it. And just barely tap. Barely tap. Because these Albrecht Dürer Faber Castell, they will move. They will move quickly on you because they're so pigmented. And I think it needs a little more red. And it needs a little more white. Okay, now her pants are going to be blue jean. So we have the phthalo blue. Phthalo blue, okay. Outline. Oh, wait a minute, where, that's all the, wait a minute, that's not right. That's supposed to be the blanket right here. And they have that drawn wrong. So we're just going to pretend that the blanket stopped right there. Now I need to try to erase this part. Okay, well that's good enough, I guess. And someone asked me in comments what this was. This is just a regular hard bristle brush that I don't know where I got it from, but I like it better than using this really soft makeup brushes or paint brushes, because it really gets the eraser shavings off. Okay, so now I'm going to the light ultramarine and doing that middle part right there of her jeans. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and activate that. I like to go ahead and activate like everything when I do it, because I probably will forget to activate it. Now she has on long sleeves, so I think I want to actually make her long sleeves stripe, like make her have on stripy clothes. So I'm going to get my pencil and I want to give her some stripes. Okay. Now, what color do I want her stripy stripies to be? She looks like Rainbow Bright right now. We'll make it cadmium yellow and orange. Deep, deep cadmium orange. Okay, now let's activate. Okay guys, oops, sorry about that. I don't know why my camera is cutting off on me, but it's about to get kicked out. It's being so disrespectful, guys. I'm so sorry about that. Well, I am using the walnut brown now for her hair. And I just did a dark outline. Now I'm doing a few stripes. Now I'm going to get the burnt ochre and just fill in the rest of the places that are white to give her, you know, some highlights. Now let's activate that hair. And let's kind of flick our brush up, kind of dab it so that the paint can move around. Okay, now let's work on her skin. We're going to use the burnt ochre again, and we're going to very lightly, with a light hand, color her face. Now let's just activate that with a little bit of water. There we go. Now her mittens will be deep scarlet red. Outline it, you know my method. And I'll just go ahead and activate that without putting any other color there. Just spread it around a little bit. Okay, she's done. All right, now let's work on him. Now I think for him, I'm going to put the, I enjoyed you, Albert. I enjoyed you guys, but I want to work on with someone else. I think we'll do him with inktense. I know I'm going to have to supplement something with these inktense because I know they may not have all the colors that I need. All right, so here we go, inktense. Let's see, what color should his scarf be? Let me turn in my color chart. So we can know what colors we are working with. Sea blue is what I want to start with his scarf. Now let's start with his hat. Here we go. They feel so good on this watercolor paper, guys. Oh my goodness. Just like butter going on this paper. Okay, so sea blue. I'm going to have to get, I'm going to pull out the Faber Castells and they're going to work together because I want a lighter blue. Up here. And the inktense 12 doesn't have a white. So I'm going to have to use the white in the Faber Castell. Make sure my lid is clean. Okay, so I'm just not, well, I'll go ahead and activate it. Follow my own advice. Let me start with the light part. And just barely dab it. Not dap. You're not giving anybody any dap. Oh my goodness, this inktense is real, guys. Woo. You have to be careful with this inktense. It gives intense ink. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean that off. It's hard to keep anything white around these inktense, man. Shoot, I need to take the inktense up here with the Faber Castell. It's almost like it gives intense color. You know how you can kind of work with the watercolors? You kind of can work with them to push color different places. You can't do, I mean, like lighten up the color, like do a real light wash and it'll end up being like lighter. No, not with these, not with the inktense. No way. They are going to give you what you ask for, which is intensity. So I'm just going to just do, instead of doing, well, I'm going to do my outline like I normally do. Do my outline. And now I'm just going to try to light hand, see what happens when I activate it with a light hand. Leave some white, leave a lot white, because these inktense just, they'll probably last forever if you don't sharpen them too much. And that's why I don't do a lot of sharpening to my pencils. I let them get pretty dull unless I just have to get a very fine point. That's how you save these pencils, guys. Okay, now let's see what happens when we activate. Okay, it's a little bit lighter color. It gives a lighter color. A different, good. That's exactly what I was going for. But it's still intense. Like, look at that. That's still super intense. Look at that. That's going everywhere. In a good way. Ooh, wee. That 72 set is like, that's worth it for this. I would spend the money to get this large set. Oh my goodness, this is amazing to play with. I was like doubting Inktense at first. I was like, no, that's ink, nah. Can't do anything on a coloring page with that ink. But now, guys, yes, Inktense. Okay, now let's see her scarf. I want her scarf to be fuchsia. I mean, a little bit goes a very long way. I think all I need to do is just outline that for the most part and see what happens. Let's see what happens. Clean my brush off good. Yep. Just what I suspected. That ink just moves beautifully. All right, now let's do her skin. Well, let's see what happens if you do her skin in Inktense. Let's try the Baked Earth. Ooh, I'm scared now. I'm scared again, guys. I'm being super, super light-handed. If you ever saw me be light-handed, light pressure is now. Because I'm afraid what's going to happen to this poor lady's face. All right, let's activate it. Oh, yeah. Now that, yeah. See, I was scared for nothing again. Guys, you know you need to help your girl. Please help me. Help me from being so afraid. That went on very nicely. But I do think I want to put a little white right there like that. Yep. And I think I want to go over a little bit more of her sweater. Just a little bit. Very light strokes, just a few strokes to give some texture to her sweater. That's it right there. And her gloves, gotta be pink, gotta be fuchsia, number 700. Let's just outline them. And activate. Got too much water. Okay. There we go. I'm liking that. Yes. Perfect. Now let's do the blankie. All right, what color do the blanket need to be? Phew, let's see. We'll do some Inktense with that blanket there. Let's do some Inktense. What color? Deep indigo. No, that's too dark. It's almost like a black. We want that blanket to be nice and bright. Let's move to the Prismacolors. Now, if I had a larger set, you're probably saying, see, Niecy, if you had a larger set, I'm sorry, I'm moving. Am I moving you guys around? I don't mean to. You're probably saying, if you had a larger set, you wouldn't have to be switching and swapping. Well, guys, you know. You already know. That blanket is going to be purple. I don't even have to look at my color chart. I see the two purples I want. We are going to do, in the Prismacolor watercolor, violet and lilac. So let's start with violet and outline. Oh, these Prismacolors don't feel as good as those Derwent on this watercolor paper. But they feel pretty good now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. They feel muy bien, okay? Uh-oh, Latina Niecy is coming. Here she comes. She's coming, guys. I must be getting excited because Latina Niecy don't be coming unless things are going good, okay? Okay. There we go right there. We're going to outline all of it with the violet. Todo. Outline todo. Now, let's kind of just color a little bit outside. Not outside the line, but just, you see what I'm doing, guys. It's still kind of like outlining. But not really. Okay, now let's get this lilac and lightly color the spaces and leave some white. Leave some white in some spaces for highlights. As a matter of fact, we're going to get our white Prismacolor and encourage that white to stay there. Oh, and I didn't clean it off. Why didn't you remind me, guys? I'm blaming you for everything, aren't I? Cut it out, Niecy. Don't be blaming the fam for your mistakes. See, I have to talk to myself firmly, guys. You know I'm a little cray-cray. You'll know it. Now let's activate this stuff, guys. See, that's what I was talking about. You guys let me be myself. You let me be me. Oh, I love the activation part. It's so fun. You just see the colors just come to life. And you don't even have to like fill all the white spaces, because once you activate it, those white spaces pretty much go away on their own. Well, the white spaces that you don't want there, but you want to leave that kind of highlighted area, the intended white space, but it gets rid of the unintended. Oh, I have a little bit too much water on my brush and I don't feel like getting it off. Let me go back up here. I had a little bit too much water right there. Okay, let's see if I can get some of my white area back. Oh yeah, it comes back. There it is. Man, working with this stuff on wet paper is awesome when you put the pencil straight to the white paper. I mean, straight to the paper, wet paper. It's so smooth. All right, let me take a dry brush, dry my brush off, and now just kind of melt these things together. Okay. I think that needs a little bit more blending. Okay, guys. Yes. Woo! Now let's do the sled. What is that right there? I think that's like, what is that? Is that a piece of the sled? Yeah, that's gonna be a piece of the sled. So we need a gray because this part is going to be like a metal kind of. So in the Prismacolor Premier, I need a cool gray 50%, and I think that's, there it is. Let's do our outlining, and we're definitely gonna have this having a highlight because it's going to be gray and shiny and metal. Okay, so we highlighted most of that. Now let's do this one over here. All right, do we have a lighter gray? Yes, we do. We have a French gray in our set. French gray 20%. So let's lightly do that one. And I'm not covering all of it. I'm leaving some white. Let me get my white back out. Make sure it's clean. Nope, it still has some purple on it. Clean it off. And let me do my white. Uh-oh, I forgot to do that up there. Uh-oh. The only thing about going ahead and activating this, well, good, it dries fast. Yeah, it dries pretty fast because I would have been messing stuff all the way up. So let's start up here. Activating. Okay. There we go. Let's see if I can get a little more white. Yeah, there we go. Get a little white over here. And later on, I'll do some accents with like a white gel pen or white acrylic paint or something. But that's done. Now, what is this? Ugh. Guys, that's the only thing I hate about some colored pictures. You don't know what stuff is. I know that's not part of the blanket. I don't guess. No, that's not part of the blanket. Doesn't look like it's part of the sled. It looks like it's part of maybe the tree. Well, we'll figure something out. We'll do something with it. Let's go ahead and do this part of the sled. This part of the sled is going to be brown, like wooden, and then this part here too. And I need to do the blanket right here, purple. Missed that part. Just did a little, one little thing. There we go. Now, we're done with that. Now we're going to make the sled like a brown wooden color. So I need dark umber and terracotta. Now I'm going to outline with the dark umber. And I'm going to do like a little line, couple lines. Now I'm going to be a light-handed colorist and just lightly shade in these areas. Now I'm going to do the same thing up here. I try, guys. I try to be light-handed. You know, I'm working on that. I'm working on it. Now let's activate. A little more water. And let's activate up here. All right. I think that needs a little more dark umber, so just some lines, just to come kind of out. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yes, I think they're done. What do you guys think? Yeah. Looking good. I think that deer is just, he's so cute. So guys, we have done the sled and you've seen some more goodie. So let's see. Maybe I'll do a tree, one tree with you guys, and then we will be done with part 2. So what should we use with our tree? We're going to use some inktense, guys. Oh, I'm scared again. We're going to use bark and I guess baked earth. Okay, bark is just so dark. We're going to do this tree right here. No, since I'm scary, let's try this tree over here in a cut. Okay. Let's very lightly outline it with our bark color. Okay, now I'm going to make some squiggly lines. Now let's get the baked earth. We just drew outline very, very thinly. Just drew, outline, outline, outline. And let's make our lines. Our bark lines. Not too many. Then let's just color with the terracotta right over it. Kind of a light hand. All right, now let's activate it. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. I'm so excited, I'm getting choked. It's looking good. Man, sorry guys. Ooh. Ooh, that was an intense line right there. Oof, a little bit too much inktense. Okay, I think I want to move this line in a little bit. Can't really move it because it's ink that's drying. Okay. All right, I think I want a little more of this baked earth. Okay. All right, I'm liking that, guys. It's looking good. So you guys see? All right, so I will put a picture on Facebook. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to fix these trees up a little bit with you guys. How about that? Let's go ahead and get the Prismacolor and just try to fix them up, make them a little more pleasing. Because right now, so I'm using the dark green because this one, it was just too bright. Too bright and light. I'm liking the like dark scene of the forest. Okay. So I'm just going over that with the dark green. And I think I'm going to activate it a little bit. Now I want to take my dark, what is this? This dark green. No, I don't want that. I want my umber. Where's my dark umber? There it is. Which is like a dark brown, and I want to do, there we go, those branches. All right, fixed, done. That's done. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So I will post a picture of the whip, of the work in progress, on the Facebook page. So there you go. That's what we've done so far, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in to part 2 of our color along, and stay tuned for the finale and for the tutorial about doing snow. I'm going to do the snow last. So I'm going to do everything else, and then I'm going to come back to you guys, and part 3 will be featuring how to do the snow. Okay? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Happy coloring. Bye-bye.